Jimmy Eat World frontman Jim Adkins has reflected on the band's performance at When We Were Young Festival, calling it one of the best shows they have ever played. The massive emo event took place in Las Vegas in October, and Jim was asked about it in a new interview with Mark Hoppus on his Apple Music show After School Radio. He said, "I would put our second weekend show as one of my top 10 of all time. Here are a bunch of groups and artists who were around when we were starting out, and back then nobody cared. We were driving ourselves around and sleeping on floors. Playing in a band wasn't cool. It just felt like we're all being seen on this giant level that I never would have expected." Thinking about Kid Me and how Kid Me would have felt to know that we were being a part of this insane festival thing where it's just like 70,000 people are there, just getting caught up in the feelings of that. Jim also praised many of the other acts on the bill, including co-headliners Paramore, saying, "Paramore destroyed. They killed it so hard it was nuts. It was like embarrassing for everybody else. I'm glad we played earlier in the day because I would not want to go on after that. But My Chemical Romance, they killed it too. The headliners of that show were no joke." Speaking of that incredible lineup, we caught up with many of the bands backstage at When We Were Young, and they shared one thing in common. They were all starstruck by Jimmy Eat World.
We're also sitting directly across from Jimmy Eat World, and Jim looks fantastic, so this is a fanboy moment right now.
There we
Looks
go.
Like a college professor. He's got like a very scholarly look, and I like it.
He's rocking a little tweed today. He's rocking a little tweed. Who do you think would be cool to work on a song without that?
For me, it'd have to be Jimmy Eat World.
And as if by magic, they appear literally behind you there.
Oh,
there
that's right,
there
yeah. That's one of my favorite bands of all time.
One of my favorite bands is Jimmy Eat World, and they were standing over there.
Everyone has been starstruck by Jim Adkins today. I absolutely love it.
But just seeing them, like any of it.
In the flesh.
I'm listening to their record on a plane yesterday, and
nice.
well, because they're in my playlist of what I listen to every time I travel.
Of course.
And just seeing them, because I've never met any of them, and then, there's no opportunity for me to approach, so I just am looking at. And I think Jim might have caught me looking, and I tried to give it like a, like a pleasant, like a not aggressive. Yeah.
The band's single Something Loud was actually partly inspired by the announcement of the festival itself, as Jim told us earlier this summer. I heard a little bit somewhere that someone was saying that incredible, insane lineup for When We Were Young that's coming later in the year, I heard that was almost, maybe not an inspiration point, but certainly like something that made you reflect in that kind of similar way.
Yeah, sure,
right?
because I guess a lot of those bands on that show are kind of, part of like the scene that we spent a lot of time sleeping on floors and playing to nobody in. Yeah. And then to have that be very popular all of a sudden is just sort of like, that's weird. Like none of those people were around when we were actually doing that, and the fact that like it still connects with everybody is, or a large amount of people. It's just I don't know. It gives you pause.
When We Were Young Festival will return in 2023 at the Las Vegas Festival grounds on October 21st with another huge lineup, including co-headliners Green Day and Blink-182. That's your Rock Sound News Update. I've been James Wilson Taylor. We will see you again soon.